welcome back to another edition of the 7th inning stretch here at the Solano College TV studio. I'm Ryan Irwin. I'll be your host today. Joined by me today is Antonio Harris, and we're going to be talking some Giants baseball, and we're going to be getting into it. We have three things to cover. The first one is, what in the world is going on with the San Francisco Giants right now?
I don't know, honestly. I get it. It's a new ownership. Buster Posey, second year as owner and general manager, president of baseball operations, and their rookie head coach Tony Vitello. But they made some offseason moves that should have helped their offense a lot, with Luis Arias batting like 313, Harrison Bader, who's on the IL right now, and then obviously Rafi Devers and Willie Adames and Matt Chapman, who aren't producing, but overall, it's been a disappointment season so far from the Giants.
Yeah, and you talk about the three core players, right? The ones that they signed, and we made that blockbuster trade last year in the middle of June, which came out of left field.
Exactly.
Nobody in baseball was expecting that to happen. And also, too, we weren't expecting Devers to be so bad.
Exactly.
And you look at what he's done this year. I have the stats right here for Devers, Adames, and Chapman. They've just been bad.
Yeah.
They've been horrible. There's no other way to put it. Devers is batting .221. He has 3 homers, 15 RBIs. But the thing that really shocks me is none of them are getting on base.
None of them.
And Devers has a .594 OPS. You look at Adames, he's hitting .194 right now. It's been horrible. He also is kind of stuck at 3 homers, has only 6 RBIs, and he has a .565 OPS. And then you look at Chapman, .234, 1 homer, 12 RBIs, 623. All of these guys, the main guys in your lineup that are supposed to be producing, they aren't. And that's why the Giants are sitting at a record of 14-23, which is tied with the Colorado Rockies. And also, I believe, unless the Mets won yesterday, they have the worst record in baseball right now.
Yeah. It shocks me because, one, as a Giants fan, it shouldn't shock me because they've been mediocre the last couple seasons. They've barely gotten to 500. They're either right below 500 at like 81 and 83, or they go 83 and 83. Which last season they went right at 500. But this season, if they keep losing like this, they're on pace to lose over 100 games.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. And we've talked about it before. They're on pace to lose well over 100 games.
Yes.
They're not just gonna, be around 99, 100. They're gonna lose over. They could lose 110.
Yeah.
If they don't play better soon.
They might pull Rockies. They might lose by how bad the Rockies lose every year.
And that would be horrible because, unlike the Rockies, the Giants, they've committed all this money to all of these guys. So it's not like you could look at it as a fan and be like, okay, they didn't sign anybody. We have a bunch of young, mediocre players. No, they have guys that, when you look at the back of their baseball cards, these guys are good. Mm-hmm. Devers is on pace. He's going to have well over 300 career home runs at the end of his career. And Adames, he's had multiple 30 home run seasons. He just had 30 last year, but it kind of came, at the end of the year when it didn't matter. Matt Chapman, although, there's always a debate there with him, with his offense, but his defense
he'll go down to probably like maybe 5 or 6 gold gloves. I know he's got a platinum glove with Oakland.
Yeah, and one of the things too, and I guess we'll get into the second thing, which is it time to panic, or do you feel like it's still early? And I know a lot of people are saying, okay, you're only about 30 plus games into the season, but when you look at how bad they've played, they're 2-10 over their last 10 games, or 2-8 over their last 10 games, and you have all this money committed, and I was going to go back to some of Devers, Adames, and Chapman with their contracts. You have guys that are making well over $30 million a year for the next basically 10 to 12 years. But we'll go back into do you feel like it's time to panic from your perspective, or do you think that they can still turn this around?
I want to say it's a little too early to say to start panicking. Maybe come right before All-Star break. Let's say if they're still on this track, I'll say it's time to panic. Like they'll try to make some moves at the deadline after the All-Star break. But as of right now, it's too early to call. Like, yes, they always do. They're either hot at the very beginning of the season, like how they were last year. They won like maybe 30 games last. They're like 25 and like 8 at the beginning of the season. Had the NL West on lockdown basically, and then Adames gets hurt and everything falls apart.
Yeah, and you talk about being at the All-Star break when they were, even before the All-Star break, when they were going into LA against the Dodgers, and that was the same day that they acquired Rafi Devers,
Yes.
and you had Buster Posey went down to the bullpen to tell Kyle Harrison that they had traded him, and he was supposed to pitch that day, and they ended up having to have a bullpen game, and I think it was Spencer Bivens ended up starting that game for them, and he pitched. He didn't do that bad. They ended up. I think they only won one game that series, but at the time, I mean, like you were saying, they were in first place in the National League West, and they were up like they had like a 3 or 4 game lead at the time. So everybody was thinking, I was thinking, and I feel like an idiot now for thinking this, but at the time when they acquired Devers, I thought that last year with how good this team was, that this was going to be the year that we were going to go to the World Series. Like I was thinking, like this is the year that not only do we get back to the postseason, but we go all the way. And you know, I was maybe obviously I was overly optimistic,
I feel like every Giants fan was over optimistic. Like, oh, we just got Rafi Devers, a long-time third baseman, but when they made that move, I was like, why get Rafi Devers? Like, are you gonna put him at first base where he was already struggling with the Red Sox after they signed Alex Bregman and didn't tell him? Like, we already had Matt Chapman before. Like, I wanted to see how that was gonna play out, but Ron Washington has worked with them in the offseason, like work his game better. Now he's consistently playing first base good. So
and I mean that's the thing is he was having all those problems in Boston. He was telling you know, the front office basically, I'm not going to bring my glove out.
Just
but,
DH me.
Yeah, and then you look at what Chapman's doing. Obviously, you know, his defense is always going to be there. We talk about it, but I mean, for me personally, I don't think it's. I kind of agree with you in a way. I don't think it's time to panic. I mean, you haven't even played 50 games.
No.
But I do think that if this core does not get it together, I could see a world where, I mean, and I'll get into this next, they're calling up young guys. I mean, they called up Bryce Eltridge and Jesus Rodriguez.
Yeah, who were both tearing it up in AAA.
To me, the way I see it, I think they want to kind of apply pressure to these guys because they're basically like, look, Devers, you're not performing. If Bryce Eltridge is here, whether he plays DH or first base, it's going to depend. I mean, he may even play a little bit of the outfield because there is that pressure on Ramos and Lee. Although Lee has been doing really good, Ramos is doing what he usually does. He's hitting about 260, 270, but you know, you don't have a right fielder either.
No.
Because Bader is he just started his rehab assignment last night. But with Gilbert playing so well, and then now they just had Jesus Rodriguez in the outfield yesterday for them. He didn't play that well in the outfield. He missed a play, but
I mean, he's a catcher.
He's been hitting the ball, and you know, I don't think it's a time to panic, but I definitely think, like you were saying, if we get to like June
and we're still like this,
or
panic,
worse,
hit the panic button.
Then I think if you're Buster Posey, I think
get out of someone's contract.
And that's the way I see it, and I don't think there's a way out of Devers' contract, at least right now.
One.
I am going to make this a hot take. I think there is a way out of Willie Adames and Matt Chapman. I think they can find a way out. And I do think that they may have to pay some of their contract off to get teams to want to take on. Like with Willie Adames, for example, he has 6 years remaining on his deal. And he's making $28 million a year. But what I think the Giants could do if it gets to that point, unfortunately, you know, we're kind of at the point where Casey Schmidt,
he's playing amazing ball right now.
Casey Schmidt is having an all-star year. He's hitting 296, has 6 homers, 18 RBIs. He has an 883 OPS.
And he can play everywhere too. He's played third, second, short. He'll DH for us from time to time. He plays also first base, and he can play. I think he's played the outfield before.
Yeah, and I think
So he's kind of like our platoon guy, like how the Dodgers have Kike and Tommy Edman.
Yeah.
He's ours.
yeah, and think the thing with Schmidt too is like this is his year. Like
Yeah.
he's probably kind of sensed over the years, he's been sent up,
Yeah.
called up, sent down, and so I think with him, this is kind of his year where like it's make or break. If he doesn't play well, he may get sent down, and
he might get shipped off.
Yeah, he might get traded. Although he's playing so well, he might get traded.
Yeah.
Because they might, I can get into a little bit of the pitching, and then that kind of goes with the panic button. Logan Webb. I mean, what is going on with him?
What's
and
going with our
that's
guy? What's
that's
going with
the
our
thing
ace?
that I think a lot of people are worried about
Yeah.
because he has a 5 ERA and he's 2-4 with 48 innings pitched. Now, we always know sometimes he starts off slow.
Yeah,
And
starts
then
off slow
as
and
the
then
season gets on, he
Yeah.
into the dog days of summer, usually he's really
7,
good.
8 innings
But-
pitched.
I mean,
He's led the National League in innings. The last 3 years he's been a Cy Young finalist, or not a finalist. He's been top 5 in Cy Young voting. He led the National League in innings 3 years in a row in innings pitched.
yeah.
That was with Bob Melvin, so having the workload on him. So
Well, and even going back to when they had Kapler,
Yeah.
he was still
very young.
Yeah, and he still was one of the top arms,
Yeah.
especially in
behind
baseball.
behind
and-
Gosman.
Yeah, and
Or-
with Gosman, and then
Cueto.
even when they had Blake Snell
Yeah.
that year, and Carlos Rodon, when they had those guys for 1 year. But one of the things that sticks out to me too about Webb is what I've been reading, which may play more into why he's been pitching so bad, is he's had a knee problem, and it's his plant leg. So you know as much as I know, when you
Yeah.
come off the mound and you plant your leg,
You're
that
playing
plant
it
leg,
forcefully.
you're planting it forcefully, and if that knee is tweaked or gets tweaked, it can cause a lot of problems for a pitcher. And I think with Logan Webb, he's not admitting it, and he keeps going back out there.
Yeah.
But there was a report, and it was the SF Chronicle, and it was I don't remember who wrote it, but they were covering the Giants, and it was a few days ago. It was before his start, and his last start, and it said that they had came to him and they were trying to, they're waiting on tests for his knee now, so I don't know if he's gonna make his next start.
I don't know either.
But
I think
there was a report that came out a few days before his last start that said that he's fighting through knee soreness and that he's refusing to sit out and he wants to pitch, which we know that he's a competitor.
Yeah.
Obviously,
He wants to
he's
win.
not going to want to miss starts. He wants to try to help this team as much as he can. But I think it gets to the point where it's like, if you're hurt, you're hurt.
Yeah.
And you're hurting the team more being out
do
there.
do what Schoolwood just did.
Yeah.
Schoolwood had some loose whatever was in his throwing arm. He's taking 2 months off for surgery. He just had a surgery yesterday. So
Yeah.
now that race is now the AL Cy Young race is wide open because
Yeah.
Schoolwood's out.
Yeah, and that, talk about him possibly being traded is
Yeah.
kind of out the window at this point, I think. Now all the eyes are going to be on Paul Skeens,
Mhm.
who I don't know. I mean, with the Pirates playing good,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to want to trade him. And speaking of the Pirates, they're coming to San Francisco tomorrow to open up a three-game series against the Giants. So I think the Giants, this is a perfect time for them to get back on track because, I mean, you're going to have Bryce Eltridge in there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Jesus
Jesus
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. You're gonna have Casey Schmidt out there. Luis Arraez. Oh
my
God, he's
gosh.
been so. Luis Arraez, he's been so
freaking.
freaking good for us, and I think
His
the biggest
hitting
thing.
and defense,
Yes.
mind you, he's never been a great defensive. He's never been a great defensive guy. If you look at his defense highlights tape in San Diego, Minnesota, and Miami, it's horrible. But now that he has Ron Washington, who is now his infield coach,
Yeah.
he has a positive F4, is like 5.4 or something.
Yeah, Ron
And-
Washington, best acquisition of the whole offseason for the Giants, getting Ron Washington to come in and basically like come out of retirement because I think he was
he was retired for a
yeah.
bit. He retired after the Angels last season.
He for him to come out and helping these young guys. Luis Arraez And Dwayne Kuiper said this on the broadcast, and I
Yeah.
thought it was really funny. When he made that diving play at the end of the game, I think it was like the
Padres
8th inning,
game?
yeah, the Padres game.
Yeah.
Dwayne Kuiper was like, I know he's not going to do it, but I just want to rise to turn and yell at the dugout. This is who I am. I can play second
Yeah.
base. And that was the biggest thing, and that's why nobody wanted to
Yeah.
sign him.
Yeah, no one wanted to sign him
And-
because he wanted to go back to playing second base. The
Yeah.
Padres had him playing first base and DHing sometimes, and I'm like, if you're gonna have him, if he wants to play his position, who grew up playing second base, let him play. But
Yeah.
once again, it's a
And-
business.
I mean, it is a business, and I think when you don't have the history that
Yeah.
that doesn't have as a good infielder or as a good defender in general.
Yeah.
But man, he is the best defender in baseball right now.
He's on track to win a Gold Glove
Yeah.
and possibly a Platinum Glove for the Giants.
His WRCS plus is the best in baseball. His defensive numbers are the best in baseball. He has better defense statistically right now than Pete Crow Armstrong,
Wow.
and that's saying something. And
The
we know PCA is
a
really
great defender.
I mean, what he's
Defender.
doing for the Cubs is just insane. But Luis Arraez, I mean, it just sucks that nobody else on this team is near his level
Yeah.
of play. And I mean, Casey Schmidt, you could say, is probably the closest.
Yeah.
I would say like the overall best hitter, because Luis Arraez, I mean,
He's batting like.
he's not going to give you power.
Yeah.
So he has no pop. But
I mean, the day the day we went to the Giants game, he hit a triple off of.
yeah, I know.
the
We
Levi's
thought it was a
landing.
home run.
Yes.
When he hit it, yeah, that was crazy
But
when it
then
went off
again,
the wall.
they had Adolis Garcia on right field, so.
Yeah, and then he got stranded at third base per usual. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the biggest thing about the Giants.
He'd go lead off.
We love to leave runners in scoring position. That's just our thing. You know,
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you're a Giants player and you can hit, get ready to sleep on the bag, because you might as well bring a pillow and blanket with you when you go out there, because you're not scoring. And that's
Unless
how
you have Schmidt behind you. Then
that's
it.
how we do it here in San Francisco. Nothing like
Yeah.
it, right?
Yep. But I do want to talk about that Dodgers Giants series that
Oh,
we took
yeah.
from the Dodgers. We took two of the 3 games out of them.
Sorry, Pop.
Yeah, sorry. But I do want to go back to that incident with Jung-Hoo Lee and Dalton Rushing.
Oh, Dalton Rushing.
Has he become public enemy number 1 as a Dodgers player?
Dalton Rushing, man. I don't know where it came from, too.
I
It
don't
kind
know
of came
either.
out of left field. But it
Yeah.
started with the Rockies series.
It did.
With
'cause
the
they thought he was
fishing.
cheating, 'cause they
He
were-
said it was fishy that they got 5 hits in a row off
Yeah.
of the Dodgers pitching. I don't know who was pitching that day.
I don't know either.
But yeah, that whole thing. And you know what's crazy too about that series? I thought after we won that series, I thought we were like in shape. I
Yeah.
thought, because I mean we took 2 out of 3.
From the eventually NOS champions,
Yeah.
who probably have 110 wins or whatever.
We never do that.
No.
I don't remember the last time we took 2 out of 3. Patrick Bailey like randomly just decides. Oh, that's the
I mean,
thing. Okay,
that's the
Patrick
thing with
Bailey.
he checks in against the Dodgers because last year he had a walk-off grand slam against the Dodgers off of Tanner Scott
Yep.
late night innings.
It was literally the identical home run too. A high fastball up and in. It wasn't Tanner Scott though. It was I forget. It was a lefty.
This year's.
Yeah, it was a lefty. But it was literally an identical pitch. High fastball up and in, but it missed. It missed out over the middle of the plate.
Yeah.
There's something about Patrick Bailey
When it comes to playing the Dodgers.
that when he plays the Dodgers, he's like what Buster Posey was
Yeah.
with the Dodgers. He's a Dodger killer.
Mhm.
And it's so weird with him because he'll hit like 120 the whole season, but then we have a weekend either in LA, which we do have a 4-game
Coming up-
series
coming
against the
up.
Dodgers coming up in LA. That'll be crazy.
Yeah.
But he just,
Hopefully we have our pitching by then.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing with Patrick Bailey. And I mean, he's won 2 Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
He should have gotten a platinum last year. I'm gonna be honest. I think he got kind of stolen.
Robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed.
Who won it?
But Cal Raleigh was just so freaking crazy. But
But I mean, Cal Raleigh's Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
Didn't let a single pass ball back last year. So.
yeah, he also hit 60 plus home runs, which was
as a switch hitting catcher.
yeah, that's just insane. But going back to Bailey, I mean, when Daniel Susak comes back, I mean, there's so much that we could talk about. On
Yeah,
here. I mean,
we have 3
it's-
catchers on
yeah.
the roster. when Susak comes back.
Yeah, and
How are you gonna platoon that? Well, I mean, Rodriguez also plays different positions.
I'm gonna
So
be
does
honest.
Bailey.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Patrick Bailey is probably gonna get benched, and
Most likely.
I think the problem is that Daniel Susak was, although he's only had 25 at bats,
Yeah, he was.
he was
consistent.
like he looked like rookie of the year when
Yeah.
he was hitting. So, and you're gonna have Jesus Rodriguez, who, by the way, in his first major league debut, his very first game, he got his very first career hit, very first career RBI, and very first career home run all in the same game. Usually, if a rookie does that, that means they're a pretty good hitter.
Yeah.
I think, and to do that he did it against the Padres out of all teams. So
Yeah, I mean their pitching was. I mean, what gets me even more against that Padres series was that the Padres threw Matt Waldron. He has a 9.83 ERA he had a 9.83 ERA going into that game.
Yeah.
We should have teed off on that guy, but instead
Yeah.
we lose 5-1
yeah,
because we got Tyler Mahle or Andrew Wisnell pitching.
He struck out nine Giants too, which is like crazy. I didn't even know that I was watching the game,
Yeah,
but I felt like I didn't know that he had 9 strikeouts. That's just crazy to me. And I mean, that's the thing with them. It's so weird. They don't hit well. I mean, they're
They
not
don't
hitting well
walk.
at all, but they don't walk either. They're
No.
dead last in the MLB in walks right now, which is not. They're dead last in almost every offensive category.
Yeah.
Which is just like, that's unacceptable. You
Yeah.
can't have Raffy Devers, Willie Adames, and Matt Chapman
the
on your
heart
team.
of your lineup
Yes,
going
and they're
trying to take home run swing instead of trying to put the ball in play.
they're the 3 worst hitters in baseball right now in their position, which is not good. That's
No.
not good at all. So, to go into our last segment is, what does the future look like for this team? And that could mean a lot of things. I think for what I mean by that is for the rest of the year and for the future,
Yeah.
including the contracts. And I'd like to get what you think the future looks like for this team. They do have Bryce Eldridge here, obviously, but you have a lot of contracts down.
Yeah. One
One of the things that I wanted to point out before I let you describe it, $7.5 million a year in Devers' contract is deferred for years 2034 through 2043. So he's
How much
gonna
is it?
$7.5 million per year will be deferred. So basically, starting in 2034, he's going to be getting paid $7.5 million until the year 2043. So much like what the Dodgers are doing, just a lot less money.
That's like $42 million.
Yeah, $42 million will be given to Raffy Devers.
Over the course of 6 years.
Yeah. And he's
That's
probably
prob-
going to
that's
be
probably after-
Yeah,
that's probably he's
that's
out of the
after his
league.
contract, which is the funniest thing because
Yeah.
he signed through 2032. So, or 2033. So,
How's that after his contract? That's what I don't like about this.
so
deferred
yeah, the
money thing.
deferred the deferred money is
Thanks
is,
a lot, Ohtani.
Yeah. Well, he's making $60 million after he retires, so that's just. I mean, the $7.5 million is nothing.
Yeah.
But going back to my question, what do you feel like the future looks like for this team?
I mean, from my perspective, it looks like the Giants are in a win now perspective. So, if this is what their window looks like for a win now,
It's not good.
It's not good. It's,
It's not good.
hit the panic button
Yeah.
now. Just reset everything.
And obviously, like, I'll answer this question too, kind of with my perspective. I mean, the top prospects that could come up and help, we saw Trevor McDonald already.
Yes.
So, and he was really, really good. But you have a lot of guys, Daniel Susak is one, Blade Tidwell's already here.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Harris is somebody that I think is a little bit on the underrated
Yeah.
side of things. I don't think a lot of people talk about him. Carson Wisenhunt, which is somebody that we're pretty high on. I
Yeah.
think he has a chance to be really, really good. He upped his
bullpen
velo.
piece.
He went from like 91 miles an hour to 100
Good God, that's
just
9 miles
within
an hour.
like a 7-8 month period. And he's down at AAA doing good things. Hayden Birdsong, he's going to come back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's also a one guy I'm curious to see how he does when he comes back up because
yeah.
he's had a rocky like 2 or 3 years now. It's just like with Schmidt, it's either a make or break year for him also.
Yeah, and I just think like
And then the one prospect I'm excited to see when he get called up the AA and possibly AAA. is
Yeah.
The 18-year-old Dominican prospect. That we
oh
signed.
yeah, Josar Gonzalez. He's he looks really good.
Yeah.
He's only 18 years old, but I think he's
He
gonna.
skipped Dominican ball.
Yeah,
To come
he
play
came
for the
here,
Giants.
and his first at bat, he hit a grand slam. And I don't know if you saw the video, but that
No, I
was
haven't.
so. I mean, that's exactly why he skipped. He
Yeah.
could have easily went to Dominican ball and played there until he
And
was like
developed.
19, 20 or
Yeah.
whatever. But
He
yeah,
wanted his bag.
and I mean, as far as the contracts, I'll end it here. Devers, Adames, and Chapman, I think they have to step up. If the future has anything to do with those three being on this team still, and if this
I mean,
is
Chappie's like what in his like 30s?
Chapman is Adames is 2, Devers,
Close.
Devers is, I think he's 29, so I mean, those guys have to step up. If
Yeah.
those guys don't, then I think you can get to the point where I would start looking at these younger guys because
Yeah.
we do have a deep farm. We have kids that can come up.
We're rated probably one of the best farm systems in all of baseball,
Yeah.
along with the Dodgers.
Yeah, so I mean, we jumped 10 spots last year in the pipeline,
Yeah.
which is like we haven't done that in I felt like forever. So whether these kids work out or not, I mean, I always say this: prospects are just prospects until they get to the majors.
Yeah.
But I can't help but look at some of these kids' numbers, like Johnny Level, for example. He's in Double-A right now. He's probably gonna get moved up to Triple-A at some point. He's only 21 years old, and he can play all over the infield. He's third baseman, shortstop, second base. He can even play some first.
Yeah.
He's an outfielder too, so I would imagine that he's gonna be kind of like a super utility guy.
Mhm.
But if things go south and they continue to go south for this team, you could see guys, and I've always said this, I mean, they would have to get really bad, but I think the Giants, they could start calling them Double-A guys. I mean, they could
Why not?
start, if someone gets hot down there, they could skip them straight to the major leagues. Teams do that. Now, granted, the Giants don't want to do that,
No,
but
not with
and I don't
Mercer.
think we want to see that because that would mean that Devers, Adames, and Chapman continue to have horrid seasons, which would be horrible, and I wish the best for these guys because I love Devers, Adames, and Chapman. I want them to be good. I know
Yeah.
they can be good, but
We've seen him be good before.
yeah, but that's gonna wrap it up here on the 7th inning stretch. A little update for the state of the Giants and how bad it's been, and hopefully it gets better. I'm your host Ryan Irwin, and joined by me today is Antonio Harris, and thank you all for watching.